Hi friends. Hi. We're sewing a hat today. And this is going to be the Charm Scout hat. This is a pattern by Gertie. If you're not familiar, I don't know the whole deal, but Gertie is amazing. She makes patterns, fabrics, she's written books, and she has an amazing Facebook group as well as website. So this is one of her free patterns, and in order to get your hands on it, you can just go to that link in the description, tap on that, and it'll take you to what you need. If you do not sew, there's also a link in the description to make an origami hat. This type of hat is called a Garrison hat, and I believe it comes from the 1940s. So this is the vintage inspired Charm Scout hat. Let's see what I've been up to. So, because this is a printable pattern, that makes it easy or hard depending on whether you have a printer. Fortunately, I do, and when you print these guys, you always want to make sure that this test square is actually the 1 inch that it's supposed to be. So there's 2 pattern pieces for this hat. This one is for the hat band, and what I did was I cut 2 of these from my fashion fabric. Look how pretty. This is going to match the dress that I've been working on, Butterick 5880, which is almost done. I was working on the zipper on my last live, and all I'm finishing up is the lining. So, rather than having a matching scrunchie, we're gonna have a matching hat. Super exciting. So this hat band, we cut 2, and then I also applied interfacing to both of them. And then the second pattern piece is the actual hat itself. And for this, you're gonna cut 2 of your fashion fabric, and that gets marked with the dot right there to denote which end is the front, and 2 of your lining fabric. And for me, I'm just using some cotton, just some cotton. I don't know what, this is mystery material. Okay, so what else do you need? Piping. And that's frankly what made me want to make this hat. You had me at piping. I have gotten this. It's called Maxi Piping. I believe it's, what she asks for is a 3/8 inch, what do they call this? The flange? So basically the seam allowance on the piping, she wants it to be 3/8 inch. That's what the pattern's made for. Now, personally, I didn't love this color combination, and I did order some cream colored piping, but I haven't been able to go out to get it. So we're improvising. Let me take it over here. Cover your eyes if you get dizzy. I'm gonna move the camera. Okie doke. How does that look, everybody? The light out of the way, and get this light in the way. I think that looks all right. Let me know if you're having any trouble seeing. It's tricky for me to keep eyes on the chat, but I'll do my best. So now what I have here is, this is just elastic cording, and it's, we're not wanting it to stretch, but I just want it for the roundness that it can give. And then this here is, I don't know, I guess this would be considered a grosgrain ribbon. I think that's how you pronounce that. Thank you, Mom. And it's really pretty. This was just something that came wrapped around a blanket. And so I'm thinking what I can do is I'm just gonna iron this in half and then trap this elastic in here, and it's just gonna basically be homemade piping. And then I'm gonna just trim the seam allowance to be that 3/8 inch that she wants. So let's start out by ironing this in half. Oh, this is so exciting! I've never worked with piping before, and now I'm making my own. So there's a pattern that is for pajamas and it uses piping, and like in ordinary life I would think to myself, oh, piping on pajamas, it's going to be uncomfortable, I just want to be comfy in bed. But guess what? The piping just levels up your work. It's just such a nice design, what's the word I'm looking for? Design feature. Ooh, I don't want to melt my elastic. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, it's a nice design feature that really levels up your sewing. So I'm excited to be doing piping on a project like this to get some practice. Okay, so that's ironed in half, and I think I'm done with the iron for now. So, like I said, this piping is going to go straight in here, and I guess I could probably do some pinning to make this a little bit easier. Yeah, let's get some pins over here. Try to work where you can see me working. It's been a little bit of a rough week with some health stuff going on, so I'm glad to be not thinking about it for a little bit. I'm going to try to keep this stream to about 20 minutes. We'll see how we do. Welcome everybody! Glad you're here! We are sewing the Charm Scout hat. Okay. Oops, I found a bonus pin. I'm going to skip all the way down to the other end, and then I'm going to start pinning kind of like towards the middle from there. I don't know why, I just feel like that would be a good approach for it. We shall see, shan't we? Oh, and guess what? If you watched my last live stream when I was sewing a zipper, you saw that I now have a zipper foot, and that's what we're going to be using to sew the piping. I'm probably going to have to change out my thread color and change out my foot. That'll be pretty quick. I'm sewing on a vintage Singer Stylist 457. She is lovely. She doesn't have a name, but she was a dirty girl when I got her, I can tell you that. Look, we're all pinned up. Looks good. I'm gonna get situated over here, and then I'll bring you all over as well. Pop that over there out of the way. Clear some room here. Sorry for the paper rustling. Okay, close your eyes, come on over. Whoops. Whoops. Everything's backwards day today. Let's get some better lighting here. I'm doing a vertical stream today. Okay. Lights, camera, action. Not terrible. Can we make it better though? I think that looks pretty good. I can't really see y'all, but hopefully you can see what I'm up to. That's what counts. Okay, so now these pins are going to be going like this so that I can pluck them out easily. And let's get our thread out. This machine is pretty simple to thread, although I have to tell you, when I first got my first sewing machine, which was a Fashion Mate 326, that was about, oh my gosh, about 10 months ago. And I didn't know anything about sewing machines, nothing. So when I tried to thread that machine for the first time, Oh my gosh, it was such a learning curve. It was absolutely wacky, and I'm so excited that I learned it. And guess what else? I got a free serger. And pretty soon, I mean, the suggestion that I've gotten is if you can avoid, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? If you can avoid putting the, if you can avoid threading the serger, avoid it. By just, you know, a lot of people tie their threads onto the threads that are already on there. They'll just cut them off and replace it. But for me, I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to practice actually threading it myself. A serger has 2 needles and it's got 2 loopers. So it takes 4 things of thread, not just one like a sewing machine. Although something cool about this machine is that it has the ability, you can put a double needle in here for different things, and that is super cool. That's another thing I haven't done yet, but I'd like to someday. Okay, can you all see all right what I'm doing? Right now I'm taking out my bobbin thread. This is just white that was in here from my earlier project, and I'm going to be replacing it with this metal bobbin. This type of bobbin, it's called a class 66. And this machine, when I got it, had a metal bobbin case in it. So they say it's always best to stick with, you know, whatever your machine manufacturer suggests. I had a plastic 66 in there before, and that seems to work okay. One thing I read, and I don't know if this is really meaningful or not, but I'll pass it along. Somebody said that when you have a metal bobbin in there, with all the spinning, eventually it can wear down the metal and it'll get, you know, a little bit off kilter maybe. So I feel like you would have to do an awful lot of sewing to get to that point. But I'm okay using plastic or metal bobbin cases. All right, look at, like, after you do something a few times, your muscles get memory. And this is why I find sewing and crafting and skills that use my hands to be so helpful for me. I live with chronic pain and health conditions, and they affect a lot of aspects of my life. But I feel that creative activity and art therapy and music therapy, equine therapy, which is my personal favorite, I don't get to do it a whole lot, things like that are really, really helpful to just kind of give the nervous system a break. Use your brain, use your body. And I know it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people. All right, so I just looped my bobbin thread through, and isn't that cool? All right, so I'm not actually sure. Let me see. Okay, so right now, why is this? I feel like I can't even fit any fabric under here. It's so low. Let me see if I can. Okay. So right now, I actually took my, oh, wait a second. Okay. This is, I don't know why this is so low. This is called a low shank sewing machine. And the foot I got is low shank. It's not made by Singer. It's some kind of off-label brand. Let me see if I can zoom you all in a little closer. Close your eyes. And let me see here. Get some light here. And, whoops. Shoot. I'm having trouble seeing where the needle plate even is. There's my finger. Okay, good. So you can see this, right? Right now, I have my needle in the center position, and you can see there's a lever here, up here, that I can move it to left. That was to the left, this is to the right. And basically this, this zipper foot has like a thin part here that holds stuff down, and then it's kind of got two indentations on either side. And then there's another knob back here that if I'm strong enough, I can, oh my goodness, I might not be strong enough. I can loosen this up. Oh, please. I don't even know if I'm going the right way now. There, okay, I was not going the right way. So this gets loosened up, and then this can like spin, not spin, slide to the point that you want it to be at. So I want to be as close to this piping as I can get. So I'm going to kind of just, what am I going to do here? Well, I need the needle to be able to, what am I trying to say? There. So the needle has to be able to fit through there, first of all. That should be good. And now I'll pull this all the way over. And let's see if I go down. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So the key for this is I'm gonna really, because this is gonna kind of want to shift around and stuff, I'm gonna use this magnetic seam guide, and I'm gonna really be using my fingers to really finesse this so that so that this stitch line is going to be really close to the cording, and we're going to have beautiful piping. Close your eyes one sec. I want to see if I can get you. No, I can't get you any lower. Okay, sorry about that. All right, that looks okay. So, here we go. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think we'll be fine. So let's start stitching, stitching, stitching. I have my needle to the right. I'm at 10 stitches per inch right now. My presser foot, or the tension is, I'm sorry, not the tension. Yeah, the presser foot pressure. So I just put it to 2. Kind of get a feel for that. I've never really sewn this kind of fabric before. It's a little bit loosey-goosey, if you know what that kind of is referring to. So let's see, and I'm gonna start off. Okay, I think this is going all right. And then I did a lot of back stitching there. I just want to make sure that this isn't going to go anywhere that I don't want it to. Make my stitch length a little bit longer, and this might be tricky here. Okay, yes, this is tricky. I feel like I'm going a little bit fast. How do we look? Oh, we look really good. Yeah, all right. I'm taking to this like a duck to water. I'm just like pushing the cord, getting that nice and tight, snugged up in that corner. All right, let's keep going. Whoops, hang on a sec. Okay, let's keep going. I love that I have a cabinet for my machine because everything's level and flush. If you have a machine like on top of a table, then this area is a little bit raised. Sometimes that can be good and sometimes not. Okay, here we go. I can't believe how well this is going. We're making piping, we're making piping. I don't know why, sometimes I think of like frosting cupcakes and stuff when I think of piping, because I think that's called a piping bag maybe, when they put the icing on. Whoops, that wasn't quite tight enough. All right. Oh, this girl sews so good. Do any of you have vintage sewing machines, or what kind of sewing machines do you have? Let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new sewing machines. New to me, that is, because I like the vintage gals. Okay, and let's do a little back stitching once again, and then we'll be done. Oh my gosh! Let me get this needle out of the way. And we'll take a close look at what I just made. Piping. Hey, pipe down over there, will ya? There's a train outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Okay. Let's trim this. And there's our piping. Now, I'm going to trim the seam allowance so that it's 3/8. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. Oh, let me take my glasses off because I'm getting dizzy. Oh. Hi, friends! If we haven't seen each other yet, hello, I'm so glad you're here. We're going to be, oops, that works, right? Oh my gosh, first we're going to be hydrating. Oh my gosh, hang on. I gotta show you what I got. I got some sewing shoes. So there's a rule in our house, you know, no shoes in the house. And I'm pretty good at sticking to that, but I'll tell you what, if you have a sewing room, you probably want to be wearing shoes, and I'll tell you why. A lot of times there's pins and needles that end up on the floor, and they can bite you. So I picked up these sneakers. They're super duper cute, and I'll tell you why I chose this style. It's because, oh, that's so weird. Look it. This doesn't have the Converse on the outside. It's only on the inside. Huh, that's interesting. Well, I kind of like it like that, and they make my feet look really small. I usually, anyway, do you think they're cute? I like them. I got a good deal on them. Oh, but for the reason for the platform is because I'm a shawty, and it's really important to have your chair height at the proper height when you're sewing and doing this kind of stuff, which I can't really do because I'm such a shawty. But the good news is, I'm like, why don't I just add more height on my feet? And then maybe that'll be a workaround. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And we'll see how it goes. They're very comfortable. I'm happy I got them. I don't usually buy anything. And so a pair of new shoes is a big deal for me. I usually like the pre-owned game. All right, let's get my, oh my gosh, this rotary cutter. This one's really good. I love it. It's by Olfa, and if I can remember how it goes, you like put this button like that, and then you can open it out, and then you push the button like that, and it locks it open. And it's got a really good grip on it, so I feel fairly safe cutting with this. And then I have this hand grip because I don't really have good strength, and that is like another safety precaution. So I'm not trying to lose a finger or a thumb. This is like my best estimate at 3/8 inch seam allowance. I might have done it a little shorter than I wanted. Ooh. Yeah, that might be a little shorter than I wanted. I hope it's not unsewable. Oh boy. So this is closer to 1/4 inch than 3/8 of an inch. And that's probably gonna make things a lot order for me. I'm back. I don't know if that cut us off or not. We have not been going for 25 minutes. Are you serious? But we've barely gotten anything done. All I made was some piping, for Pete's sake. Time just flies when you're sewing. And I need to be aware of it because I tend to run out of energy quickly. So when I said 25 minutes, let's add another 5 to that. And then I'll have to stop. Here's our piping. And close your eyes, I'm gonna move ya. Whoops. Here we go. All right, piping is done. Let's get that out of the way. So the first step of our pattern is that we're just gonna sew together the two, the hat band areas. And this entire pattern is gonna be getting, I'm sorry, what am I trying to say? It's gonna be getting a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which is pretty small. Shoot, I don't have my pink bobbin thread in here. Rats. All right, I'll be back. I have to grab something. Ay, ay, ay. I don't like being unprepared. So one of my future plans is to make like a sewing tool belt so that I'll have everything I need all the time right in my belt. Look at how good I'm getting at threading these guys. A lot of times I use the needle threader, but sometimes when I go straight, whoops, my finger pulled it out because I'm starting to get tired. Straight back. Yeah, this girl is getting tired. I hate that I can't do as much as I want to be able to do, but it's important for me to stop when I'm getting fatigued. You know what? We're just gonna do something now that is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but because I'm not willing to go to the other room and get my pink bobbin thread, we're just gonna have white thread in the bobbin and pink thread up top, and that'll be just fine. Now this is weird. I don't really want to have this foot on here for this part of the project because I want to be able to measure a 1/4 inch seam allowance easily, which is going to be right along this edge of the feed dog. So this this like escalator conveyor belt thing, that's called a feed dog, and it moves. That's what moves the fabric, is these feed dogs. And I'm just going to be using that as the edge. But look, right now my needle's on the right. I have to put it back to the center, and then actually maybe I could just, I mean, as long as this thing isn't in the way, I guess I could leave this presser foot on here, right? Yeah, why not? Because we're going to be needing it again when we sew the piping. All right, my needle's in the center. I am going to do 10 stitches per inch again, and let's sew. Do some back stitch. I'm not pinning because this fabric is like nice and clingy, although it's really a pain to work with in a lot of other ways. It makes it a little easy that at least that isn't an issue. Okay. Ta-da! Got this cut my threads, and then we're going to press this seam open. So let me warm up my iron again. And while that's going, I think I'm also going to be looking at one of the next steps. So can you see this is like where it got sewn together. Look at how little these seam allowances are. Usually I do 5/8 inch seam allowance. I don't know why this is just a 1/4. It's like a little baby. Look at, it's so little. Very cute. So that'll get pressed open. Okay, more sewing. And yeah, we're using our zipper foot because we can. Yes, we can. So this is the hat itself, and I'm just gonna be sewing, well, let's make sure that we have this set up right. So we are gonna be sewing right sides together, which is the opposite of what I have right now. So this is the wrong side because it's not as shiny. That's my right side because it's shinier. Right sides together. And these dots here signify the front of the hat. They're gonna get sewn together. Oh my god, this is gonna be so flippin' cute. Oh my gosh. Just don't let me stay up all night long working on this, okay? It's not that cute. It's not worth it. But I love it. All right, and then this is the lining. This is also the front here. And, oh, this is cotton broadcloth. I couldn't remember before what it was called. We're only going to be stitching part of this. We're going to be leaving some open in the lining because ultimately this is going to be flipped around. And you'll see that later on. Okay. You know what? I am going to change this out. This is usually the last time I was doing the zipper video. I just totally petered out while I was changing the presser foot. I was like, I can't do it. I'm done. So if I can change this presser foot, I'm going to take that as a sign that we can finish up a couple more steps here before I need to call it a night. There is a wonderful, I think it's a 35-minute full tutorial, and I've linked it in the description. It's of Gertie sewing the hat, and she walks you through the whole thing. I don't care that this is pink thread for the lining. Okay, here we go. We're stopping here. That's what I need to remember, because sometimes I just want to go, go, go. Back that. Oh no, look at, I just got caught underneath here. This happens sometimes when you're tired and you're not being careful or you're rushing. Things like that happen, and it's usually an indication, ooh, I just got bit, that I need to take a break. Oh no, this is trickier than the other fabric. Let's get this on a curve here to help this go through. Hope you guys can see. Oh my gosh, I just sewed that curve like a boss. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I feel like my stitches are a little on the small side. Okay, so you can kind of see this is pretty cool if you don't know. So the pink thread is the one up top, and then the bobbin thread is the one down the bottom. So bobbin's white, and this one's pink, and it's really pretty. So now let's finish up this other side, and then we'll sew the pink one. Oops. Okay. This has got to be nice and straight. Let me put my stitch to like, I don't know, 9. Okay. The lining is done. My iron is still over there. I haven't forgotten about it. And don't worry, Mom, it's got an auto off if I do forget about it. Let's do this last one, and then we'll do some ironing. Get our seams pressed flat. First we'll notch them though. How do we want to do this one? Okay, we got right sides together. Yes, indeed. Shiny, shiny. I feel like maybe I should throw a pin in here, just because I feel like I'm getting tired. It might make it a little easier for me. Okay, cool. Get this guy out of the way. And let's start sewing. Okay, this is going to be tricky because this fabric's very fringy. We got it. Oh, she sews so good. I'll just get that out of here. I don't think it was going to catch, but... it's perfect. Like, the fabric just gets pulled through my hands. I don't even need to really guide it at all. And this does a lot of the work for me. Get yourself a magnetic seam guide if you don't have one. Okay. To the pressing board. Close your eyes, gang. We're going for a little spin. Whoops. It's driving me bonkers because the thing is like the opposite of what you think. You know, the joystick. It's weird. Okay. How's that for lighting? We're gonna do some notching before we do pressing. And let's just use, oh my gosh, these seams are so small. This one they said was a curved seam and you should put notches in it, but I'm really not seeing a curve. I mean, whatever. But these are definitely curves. So anytime that you see one like this that is convex, pretty sure that's what we're looking at, you could put little notches in it like this. And that's going to make it so that when you flip your fabric over, you know, do the old flipperoo, the material isn't going to then get all bunched up. I'm doing way more notches than we need, but I kind of like doing notches. And I like my little trick. Some people would go, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for each notch. And I don't, because my wrists don't like that. And that's a little trick for anybody with wrist or hand pain. So where'd my first set go? Over there. I'm gonna go here. I'm just notching like pretty close to the stitch line, but you definitely don't want to go through that stitch line, otherwise you'll have some problems. Okay, so the lining is notched on the hat. Look at these cute little triangles. Got my scrap bin. Let's notch this guy. So much of sewing is this kind of stuff. For better or worse, right? It's like, oh, you want to sew? I hope you like ironing. I hope you like folding stuff and measuring stuff and cutting stuff. Oh, you know what? Yeah, my tired little brain is kind of notching in an unusual way. Come on, you. Come on. Get out of there. Oh my gosh. The pressing is the last thing I'm going to do. I'm so sorry. I always want to finish projects, but yeah. I mean, I don't have the stamina, and I don't know, maybe you guys don't want to be watching me for an hour trying to do something very methodically and slowly, which is good. So then I don't put pressure on myself. Okay, let's just go with this. Oh my gosh, when I watched Gertie, she put like 3 notches on each side, and look at me. Like, what the heck? Oh, I wish I had my lint roller. This fabric is such a pain. Okay, here comes the excitement of pressing. I know I've been promising it for like 15 minutes now. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Uh-oh. This is tough. This is so tiny. Oh shoot, you know what? I gotta lower the heat. This is not cotton. I think it's some kind of synthetic blend maybe. Cotton and something else. But yeah, that was a close call. So we're just pressing our seams open. It's like an open face sandwich is what I like to call it. All right, so this is where our piping is gonna go. And this is the brim of the hat. Oh my gosh, so good, so good. Now let's do the flipperoo. I think we're flipperooing, right? Yeah, we're gonna flipperoo and then we're gonna iron this. And for the part that didn't get sewn together, we're just going to push that in as if it did, okay? And that's going to get pressed, and then at the end of the project, we're going to be flipping our hat through this hole here, and that'll get stitched up at the very end. I'm going to grab my little tool and get, actually I kind of skipped a step. I'm out of breath. So it would probably be better if I pressed these seam allowances open and then flipped it. But I have to be honest, like I don't feel capable of doing that right now. And especially since this is the lining, I'm just going to kind of use this tool to get it so that the stitch line is just really at the very outer edge of that. And then I'm going to press it. And that's going to be good enough for me. That part I'll probably do last. Let me get this part here. I love doing stuff like this with my hands, and it is I have to pace myself and limit myself. I'm not really as capable as I've been in the past. But look at how much I can do. This is amazing. And yes, I actually need to say goodbye to you guys because I'm donezo. I'm donezo. Okay, so final reveal of Butterick 5880 is coming soon, and I'm gonna be wearing the hat. Thank you so much for watching. 45 minutes. I'm a bad girl. Thank you, and yeah, have fun making your Charm Scout hat. I hope it's a fun project for you. I've really enjoyed it so far, and it makes it so much better that you were here to help. Take good care. Happy sewing.